Hello, hello. I just got in from shoveling some snow, so I haven't checked the auction in about an hour. Let's see. Auction time. This is one watching. One person. All righty. Tommy Taylor. Hello. I'm checking the auction right now. Let's see how many bids there are. All righty. We got some. Alfredo. Hello. Normally, what I talk about during live streams is just question and answer. I just wait for a bunch of people to come in. So it may take a few minutes. If you have questions, just put them in the chat. And I'll see if I can read them properly. I'll try to answer. Yeah, I'm just checking. I've got an auction going right now where people are bidding on some items that I have on a video. TJ, hey, it must be late for you or really early. Good afternoon, Michael. Yeah, I got to refresh this. Let's see. Our usual crowd's about 20 people, so we'll wait a few minutes before I start yapping. 10 a.m. here. Oh, okay, so it's perfect. Yeah. Well, unless you're supposed to be working, but I don't know. I don't know if you are or not. I'm just checking the auction. You got to excuse me for a minute here. Anything you want to talk about in particular, just go ahead and ask. 5 p.m. where Tommy's at. Okay. Just a minute. Ooh, there's something I missed. I'm on my phone. Yeah, I know it's not polite to be on the phone when people are present, when other people are present. But if someone has trouble with the auction, like they don't know how to bid or whatever, I can help them during this live stream. That's why I decided to put one on Monday. Other than everyone gets to see what I look like and what everyone chats about, and maybe get interested in the channel. I'm in a hospital. That's why I'm up so early. Well, okay. Hospital again, right? TJ? That's not any fun. No fun at all. Yeah. I got well acquainted with hospitals when my dad was sick. Yep. And sometimes he'd be nice to the nurses and sometimes he wasn't. Depends on who he liked. He was very, very picky. Yeah. So no background music tonight. I tried background music last time and it doesn't pick it up very well. 12 people. Yeah, maybe the last live streams I had on Monday were just a bunch of curiosity seekers. What is he doing? Or maybe the chat's not moving. I mean, it says I'm live. Yeah, everything is live. Okay. Everything's a go. Thank you for teaching me how to flip nap better with your videos. Oh, you're welcome, Michael. You're welcome. Hey, Killer Cork. Some of these names make me laugh. Hey, Patrick, everybody, hope your day is going okay. Hey, Bill. Yeah, my day is going well. I just got in from shoveling snow. I almost forgot the live stream because it was a little more difficult than I thought. The bottom 2 inches of the snow right in front of my driveway turned to ice today. Yeah. I guess it had melted overnight, and then today it froze up into 2 inches of ice. I didn't shovel it all up. I said, wait a second, I got to run into the house. And sure enough, I had like 15 minutes to get ready. I'm Will. Will is here. Hey, Patrick, everybody, hope you're. Yeah, everything's going good. So, I put a sinew string in this auction. People have asked me what other items am I going to put in the auction. I'm going to try to put some arrows and 4-shafted points and some knives. That's what I think is coming up, but no bows. I tend to make bow and arrow sets. I might put a set with a bow and a few arrows together, but that'll take time. Hey, Jesse's here. The Nappet clan. What are some questions I got recently? I got some questions that were pretty good. Let's see. On one of my latest videos. Other than where do I get my tools? A subscriber in Europe asked where he can buy boppers in Europe. So if anybody knows, maybe I can write that in the chat. If anybody knows where to buy flint napping tools in Europe, let's see. I'm going to try putting a comment in the chats. Not like that. I hit the wrong button. Yeah, I keep hitting wrong buttons. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, yeah, I had a question on where to buy flint napping tools in Europe. And I didn't know except for a couple of guys that I know in Europe, but they make their own tools. I don't know of anybody that sells them professionally. I really want to make a bow and arrows, but I still got to learn to nap. You don't need to know how to nap to make bows and arrows. I used to make arrows with bone tips before I was a flint napper. They have Amazon in Europe, don't they? Yeah, but the shipping costs more than the bopper. He wanted to buy one bopper, that size that I normally use, that 9.5 ounce bopper or whatever it is. He just wanted one, and the shipping is twice as much as the bopper itself. And here in the U.S., we get free shipping on orders over $35, but where is it $40? I don't know what the deal is in Europe as far as Amazon goes. Who has boppers on Amazon? I think they sell flint napping kits on Amazon, but I don't know about boppers. Yep, boppers can be made. That's what I told him. I told him you can. Guys that I know in Europe make their own tools, and or they don't need the copper boppers because they use hammerstones and stuff. So it's either in Europe, it's either free material like hammerstones or extremely expensive copper tools, because not only is the tool expensive, but the copper itself is expensive. I had a guy that asked me to buy copper for him here and send them to Europe. And the cost here plus the shipping to send them to Europe was cheaper than the cost of just the copper caps in Europe. And they were thinner than our copper caps. So they're not good for boppers over there. It's ridiculous. Yeah, free shipping past 50. Okay. So I guess he did not want to spend $50, or he didn't have anything else to order. Or maybe he doesn't have a credit card. It's possible. It seems like I've known people that have asked me about stuff. Where do I get this? Where do I get that? And all they can use is cash. That's it. They don't have, and they need it sent to a friend's house. So I guess they're living in a tent. eBay. Yeah, eBay ships international too, but the shipping is pretty bad. Like I've just ordered some stuff from England. It relates to building models. I want to get into building plastic models again. The shipping is expensive from Europe to here, but not as much as it is from here to Europe. Well, in this case, it's the UK, so it wasn't too bad. Shipping wasn't too bad. Been practicing knapping glass without abrading. Not as easy as one would think. One flake has to set up the platform for the next flake. Yeah, that is true. Or you can just use a spatula tool and chip downward. Or even a pointed tool, you just chip downward. Just do it like Lava Blades does it. He just chips downward, 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 downward to nap his edges of glass. Have you ever watched it? It's got millions of views for I don't know what reason, but it's there. Costs 2 to 3 cents to make pennies, so Trump says they're not making them anymore. Good. Yeah, about time. Or they should make them out of steel like they did in World War II. That way you can actually use the pennies for something. Steel pennies. You could drill a hole in them and use them as a washer. You can do that with copper too, but it's not as strong as steel. The only thing that pennies are good for these days is you go into some museums and some tourist areas where you can drop a penny in a machine and it'll flatten it for you, I guess, and punch a hole so you can wear it. Something like that. Round up, round down, I guess. Yeah. They want to round everything up to 5 cents, which is okay. It's good. Maybe my wheat pennies will be worth more now. Yeah. As soon as they stop making pennies, all the pennies will be worth a little bit more. Yeah. I don't have a car and live in a tent in the middle of the woods with no card in a really isolated town. Do you know that within a mile I could find a tool seller for flint knapping? Yeah, that's what it seems like sometimes. Yeah. Some of these guys are really living on the edge of civilization, and they want to know. They watch on their phone, they watch how to survive out in the woods and stuff. So I guess they're living in cabins and tents and off grid. They don't have a car. They might have a horse or two or whatever to help around the place. I had a horse once. He didn't like to cooperate. But he was okay as soon as I put a saddle on him. Then he calmed right down. Yeah. But I didn't ride him. I bought a kid's saddle, and I would have the kids ride around on him. I just fed him and washed him and made sure he was eating properly. Just like a pet. I had a pet horse, basically. But yeah, these guys seem to be living on the edge of society in the woods in a tent or a cabin, and they are off grid, and they want to do flint knapping. I recommend visiting dumpsters. Go become good at dumpster diving. The deer will be dropping free flint knapping tools soon. I wish. 100 pennies still adds up to $1. Yeah. Let's see. On the last video was really impressed by the sneaky angled flake behind the hinge. to shorten the next flake distance. Very cool to watch. Thanks for sharing. Oh, you're welcome. That's a secret that not everybody knows. So, I don't know. It doesn't work all the time. I only tell you about it when it works. Sometimes when I try to get a flake behind the step fracture like that and it doesn't work, it doesn't go all the way, and I don't say anything. Deer delivery service. Yeah. A lot dearer than Amazon. What does that mean? I have a tendency to not know what things mean. Numismatic value, really. Yeah, I heard that expression, numismatic value. It has to do with coin. Coin collectors know that word, numismatic value. I guess that's the value of how much it costs to actually make the coin. Let's see. The deer will be dropping napping tools soon. Like he's talking about antler sheds. Oh, okay. Yeah, but when I think of deer, I immediately don't think of big antlered deer because most of the deer you see are bucks and fawns. I mean, does and fawns. I didn't get that one either. Yeah. Oh, I'm not by myself. Yeah. See, as soon as I thought about how the deer would be dropping tools, I was thinking they would drop them as droppings, so to speak, droppings from you know where. Numismatic value is the collector's value, not the face value of the coin or bill. Ah, okay. Why don't they just say the market value instead of the numismatic? Because that's what it is. It's the market value between collectors. Good evening, Patrick. It's good to see you. It's good to see you too, Shroom Day. I don't know if it's that good to see me, but it's good to see you. I had the fan turned on because I was all sweaty from shoveling. I had to use a regular dirt shovel to get the ice off the driveway. Let's see. I wish you could see some Illinois bucks. I heard they can be bigger in Wisconsin, but people pay brush hard money on bow hunting as non-residents. Yeah, it is expensive to be a non-resident hunter in most places. The bumpers fall from the deer's back pockets. Parallaxial, that's a good one. Brush guard. Okay, so let's see. Where did I misread that? I don't know. Brush guard. Dearer means cheaper, although I don't know if it's an actual word. It's not that I know of. I mean, dearer, yes, is an actual word, but I don't know if it means cheaper. Can't believe I've never found a deer shed yet. Guess I got to get out more. Yeah, get out before the rodents eat the sheds. They eat the sheds. They're not there forever. They'll eat the sheds, and you'll find pieces and parts sometimes. But you got to get out early in the season when they first start falling, and then you have better luck. They get carried off by dogs. Dogs know how to sniff out antlers, and they bring them home or stash them away or bury them or whatever. Same with coyotes and stuff. Where I live, it's easy to get a deer 55 miles an hour. All you need is a driver's license. Yeah, but that's an expensive trip to get the dents out of the front end. They train dogs to find deer sheds. Yeah, by smell. Yep. Yeah, they sure do. Yeah. And some of these guys have trained pigs also to look for stuff. Not only antlers, but mushrooms, truffles. You can train a pig to sniff all that out. Not just dogs. I'm lucky to get to go by a deer farm locally. They haven't dropped just yet where I am. Okay. Yeah, I know a taxidermist too that has spare antlers once in a while. So I've got a bunch. Luckily, but when I first started napping, I didn't have any. I had to buy them, right? And I had to be picky about where I bought them from because the first time I bought antlers, I was buying the old sheds, not the brown hard sheds. I didn't know the difference. So I got a bunch of trash. And then I spent a bunch of money on moose antler, over $200 on moose antler stuff, 250 bucks. First time I bought a bunch of moose antler. And I don't like moose antler because it cracks. So I wasted that money. I ended up selling part of that collection of moose antler. I recovered some of that money, maybe like 25 bucks. I'm lucky to get go. Okay. If you don't have access to buy the tools online, there's a channel on YouTube where you can learn to make them. It's called Jack Crafty. Yeah, but I don't go into how to make boppers. You have to go to Mike Tuft's channel. I think he has some of those. A tutorial on how to make some of those. I think. I had the fan on just now. Sorry about that. But it's only 63 degrees in here, but I'm still burning up. Have you ever tried elk antler? Yeah, that's my favorite. I've had some and it seemed very porous. Yeah, it's very porous, but it's my favorite because I use antler mainly for pressure flakers. But some of my videos, you can see that I'm using an elk antler because it's very pithy. Okay. I use the antler close to the skull as a billet. And if I can get the skull with the antler, you use part of the skull as the end. So you cut around the skull where the antler's coming out, and then you sand it down so you're actually hitting with bone and not hitting with the antler. Eaton. That was Pennsylvania. Hey, Robbie. Pennsylvania. What was Pennsylvania? Yeah, they have deer farms here, but they're very picky about who goes near them. They supply restaurants mainly. They don't have They don't have deer leases to hunt on deer farms here, as far as I know. Hey, Pat, I know you've been using the plastic mallet for a long time, and I see other people using different objects. What's your reasoning or preference for that? It is indestructible, and it's always the same. Consistency and indestructibility. And it's very much like antler as far as the feel. So if I switch back to natural tools, I don't have to learn to use a completely different mallet. It's very similar in weight and density to antler. And I use antler as my mallet when I'm using natural tools. So the learning curve is not that bad between the two if I want to switch back and forth. Hey, Pat, I know you've been using, okay. Our deer farm supply pea mainly. You probably mean the deer scent. I don't know, maybe not. Patrick, do you wear some sort of mask for napping dust particles at all? Yeah, when I'm not on video, yeah. I know it can be very bad for your lungs. Yeah, I wear it when I know it's starting to affect me, and I've put off wearing the masks for the glass napping. I just put some more on order on Amazon. I should be getting them in a couple of days. I usually wear the masks you can buy at the hardware stores. They look like respirators. They got these little vents on the sides. They're not plastic. They're paper, but they're pretty sturdy. But those they got dirty. If I sit them out where pollen can get to them, I'll have an allergic reaction when I put the mask on because there'll be pollen all over them. I have to seal them in a Ziploc bag if I'm not using them. That's what happened to me this summer. So I just threw them out, and I haven't gotten masks since it's been warm out. That was like 3 months ago. So I've been I have been without wearing a mask for about 3 or 4 months. Hello, Patrick and all. Ahab the fisherman's here. In West Tennessee, the deer are more plentiful than rabbits. Really? Hmm. You don't have trouble with deer ticks and Lyme disease? When I was in Tennessee last time, I got these little teeny bitty ticks on my ankles. You can barely see them, and they don't have these up here. They're just first stage ticks. The first stage ticks here in Vermont are larger, much larger than the ones in Tennessee. You can barely see the little bitty bitty baby ticks in Tennessee. I had to really search my feet really well to spot them. But they say that there's not much chance for Lyme disease, so that's a good thing. But yeah, if I get a tick bite, I think I'm allergic to the tick bite. So I get a red spot like a mosquito bite, and then I itch it, and then it gets worse. Let's see. We want you around. You want me around as long as possible? All righty. Yep, scent. Doe, estrus, doe pea, and bug pea. It's illegal to deal in the meat here. That's interesting. You can't eat the meat there. Here they raise red deer for venison, mainly. But they also raise fallow deer and I think those are the two main ones. There might be another one. They might raise axis deer, but I'm not quite sure. They do raise also specialty beef cows like Highland cattle here, which I thought was interesting. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the deer eat the rabbits here. You don't have any rabbits over there? What's the length of your mallet? 12 inches. In Central California, there's more mountain lions than deer, and they're eating people's pets. Yeah, I see the videos on that. I wonder what else they're eating, because I got to eat every day, almost every day anyway. They're probably eating all the prairie dogs if they have them over there, and possums and raccoons and all the other small animals. Illegal to deal in the meat, okay to eat. Cannot sell any wild game in Illinois. Yeah, it's probably because of the brain wasting disease. Here they have to be certified and tested every year for disease, and then you have to have a record of their immunizations and stuff, but the farmers out here are pretty good about all that. The best shed collecting at metro parks or any areas where deer hunt isn't allowed. Okay. I never had any luck with public areas. The only time I found antlers myself is in a green belt, what they call a green belt, which is a wild area behind people's houses. In Texas, they have these, what they call green belts. It's usually along a river or stream. You can't develop, you have like a setback from the stream to your backyard. You can't encroach any closer to the stream than what that setback tells you. But it's like, I don't know, 50 to 100 feet. I can't remember. And there was an ad. I thought I demonetized this one. Anyway, at my sister's place, I think it's 100 and some feet. There's a green belt, and then back there you could walk around along the stream, and that's where I have found antlers. But I've never found them in any public areas. So just, it has to be kind of out of the way. I would recommend not going to an area that has a lot of traffic, foot traffic. Oh, look, live stream. I paid your invoice, sir. Thank you greatly. Yes, you did. Thank you. Best shed collecting at metro parks. I don't know. Well, I don't know about a metro park. Does that mean in a city, within the city limits? like a big city, 100,000 people or more? Because I've never seen any deer in a city that has 100,000 people or more. Right? Ed Gould, I don't know what that means. TCHY red BIYES. I don't know what that means. Ticks are worst when we have a really dry summer, and that's when the seed ticks are the worst. Okay. I see. They eat pets, birds, washed up dead sea mammals, some deer, raccoons, and coyotes. Yeah, these are the mountain lions, right? Yeah, they eat almost everything. The bucks in the non-hunting zones grow huge. Nice big sheds found. Very interesting. Where my sister's house is in Texas, they have to cull the deer because they start multiplying a lot in that neighborhood. And they use traps. They trap them within like a barrier they set up. I think it's electric fence, but they have an entrance in it and a door that swings closed or something. Anyway, they catch them in fences and relocate them. Or they'll hire a crew to come out and shoot them in the head with these little small caliber air rifles, I think. And then they just give them to soup kitchens. Oh, there is also elk here they eat. Yeah. Elk are a difficult animal to bring down. I've seen a bear try to bring down an elk. Even the bear had a hard time. And he couldn't get it. He could not bring down the elk buck. It was a pretty good fight. Itchy red bites are chiggers. Well, no, it wasn't a chigger. It was something else. Some kind of species of tick that's very, very small. Spell check is making you not spell things correctly, Ed. Like, because I got to be careful about how I read these things. Sometimes I'll think it says something else. Public grounds near me aren't bad till firearm season. Then you basically got to put up steel sheets around the house because the city slickers, usually from Chicago, are reckless. I don't know what that means. Metro parks are large parks around Detroit area, open to visitors, but no deer hunting allowed. Interesting. Large parks around Detroit. I've been through Detroit a couple of times. Let me think here. I didn't see any deer going through Detroit. Anytime I've been through at least 4 or 5, 6 times. I didn't see any deer anywhere. I only start seeing deer up north when I'm driving through Pennsylvania and New York. That's it. I don't see them very much in Vermont, although they say there's a lot of them here. I've only seen a few, and that's because I live here. But yeah, mostly Pennsylvania and New York when I make the trip up here. And then when I go south, I start seeing them around Ohio, Indiana, Missouri. Deer in Florida are pathetic, less than 100 pounds. Yeah, same as Texas. The deer in Texas are tiny. Yeah. And the antlers are not very strong. The best antlers I've ever found, well, not found, but I had a friend in Wisconsin, I think, or Iowa, that would send me deer antlers. Either one of those two had the strongest, biggest deer antlers I've ever seen. It was either Iowa or Wisconsin. I gotta head out. See you later. All right, Ahab, the fisherman. See you later. I'm Will posted a little picture of a crying snowman. Is that what that is? The glasses are not going to do any good. I have no idea what that is. Hello, everybody. Big auction day today. Yes, Jordan Kirkpatrick. Let me check the auction real quick. Okay. Let me check to see how many bids have come in. We had at least one bid come in. Yeah. They like that northern point that I made. Auction time. Yeah. Auction time. I don't like the sound of my own voice. I've thought about the possibility of Paleo Man using a downed log for a napping surface, maybe even for fluting a folsum. A large trunk with lots of mass, stable, and you could shape the notch. Yeah. Many such cases of fallen logs, that's for sure. It's easy to set up a fallen log if you're in the woods. Very easy. Virginia deer are pretty decent. Good. Awesome. Shape the notch like in a hand pad. Okay, I'm not sure. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us all. Your videos are so helpful and relaxing. I've learned a lot about napping from you. Thank you, good sir. Thank you, Magnus. Magnus Horace. Is that your real name? That'd be awesome if it was your real name. I think I know someone named Magnus. Magnus. Yeah. Hello, Patrick. We have all the deer you want here in Ohio. Romans 8 foraging. All the deer you want. That's amazing. No, sir. It's just fun characters from books. Oh, okay. That's not your real name. Let's see. Let me continue monitoring the auction and see if anyone has emailed me saying, I don't know how to do it. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, just a bunch of receipts for stuff I just ordered. That's it. Yeah. Okay, so no one's emailed me about the auction. So let's go down the list and see what we got. Yeah. So I'm checking the auction and you guys can look at it too. If you're new to this, I have an auction every Monday. It's from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, but it's not a live auction. I just post the video with the items and then you bid in the comment section. And at 9 p.m. Eastern time is when I announce the winners. And I'll put a little heart on the winning bid. That's all the notification you'll get. I used to cut and paste the responses so people know that they won, but YouTube doesn't like that. It doesn't like me to cut and paste into the comment section. So it bars me from commenting. So I just hit the heart button on the winning bid. Hello, Patrick. We have all the deer you want. Oh, I see. I read that one already. Southeast Michigan has huge deer numbers in the suburbs. I live 30 miles north of Detroit. I've seen deer in my yard. Wow. Michigan. Yeah. The deer populations must have grown a lot in the past 20 years. I lived in Michigan for a little while, but it was Holland, Michigan. And I didn't see any deer and hardly any wildlife where we were at. Yeah, hardly anything. But I've heard the deer herds have gotten bigger. here in the Northeast, they've gotten bigger in the past 20 years, much bigger. Mostly muleys around me, but once in a while I've seen whitetails with them. Hmm. I think there's hybrids too between mule deer and whitetail. I've seen some mule deer, whitetail deer hybrids down in Texas. And, I was with the taxidermist helping him load up trophies in the back of his truck. And sometimes there's the hunting guide there where they store the deer. And he would ask me, okay, is that a whitetail or is that a muley? And I look at it and I go, I can usually tell by the antlers, but on that one I can't tell. And then the coloration, you can usually tell because the mule deer has different colors, but this one was a perfect half and half mix. I said, I can't tell. He says, yeah, because that's a hybrid. Ah, okay. Trick question. The answer is hybrid, not either one of those. Mostly mule. Let's see. In New York, they are like rats with long legs. I wish. It'd be nice to see a deer around here. I've seen them off the side of the road, but what I've seen mostly here in Vermont is turkeys, wild turkeys. Can you add a finished arrow point with the box of flakes in the auction? No, I usually don't add anything to an auction item. I've got so many back orders. I used to do that, but now I can't do anything outside the auction. I've already shut down most requests outside the auction. I still got a lot to do. I have duplicates to make. I've got people that have asked me for stuff that are rare. They say, if you ever encounter this kind of stone, and if you make an arrowhead out of this kind of stone, just let me know and name your price and I'll buy it. So I've got some of those on my list too. I got a bunch of stuff, but I'm not taking any more requests. I wish I could. Keith has been at the auction. Yes. Let's see. Let me see here. No one's bid on number 3. Sinew string yet. That's okay. Someone can probably pick up that sinew string for $5 if no one bids on it, or even $1. It doesn't matter how much you bid on it. I'll just send it out. 50 cents. I've had people bid 50 cents. Do the hybrids run funny? I don't know because it was dead. They might. Hey, crew. Sorry I'm off. I just to say hello. Tomorrow is another day. Good night. Good night, Big Blue. His name is Juan. Yes. Good night. Good night. How many Onondaga points do you have to do? I've got a challenge. I've got a box of Onondaga as a challenge to do on video. And that's been sitting there for over 2 years or at least. So it's difficult Onondaga chert. It's difficult blocks that he wanted to see napped just to see how big I could manage to obtain from those blocks. They're all damaged from frost. They're frost damaged Onondaga chert blocks. I have a pack of deer. Let's see. Have you ever napped opal? Yes. Common opal, yes. It naps very easily. I have a pack of deer that are constantly running through my yard being chased by 2 bucks, and I live in the metro Detroit area. Wow. That's amazing. There's tons of them around here. Yeah. Apparently, Killer Cork has a bunch of deer in the metro area. The coyotes are having an impact on the deer. Hmm. I would consider bidding on 3, but I don't know the size of my staves. Oh, number 3. I see. If no one bids on it, I'll send you $10 in the mail. Does that count as a bid? Yep. Just got to remind me. I can write it down. Mike Mason. You don't have to remind me. I'll write it down just in case. And we'll email each other and see. Excuse me while I write this down. It takes me longer to write it than to type it. Yeah, but I type slow as well. If I have to talk and type and talk and write, I can't do it. Yeah. The short sinew strings can sometimes be used for other things. Like you can make a sling with it. As an example. Have you heard of the product called Easy Nap from the Hunt Primitive? Yes. It's a high-grade porcelain. It's a manufactured white porcelain type of material for beginners. Yes. Just curious about your opinion. It must be good stuff. I mean, if it's high-grade porcelain, it naps well. So I have no doubt that it naps well. Now, nap easy is an oxymoron, or easy nap. It's called nap easy, right? An oxymoron is something that is composed of 2 words that are not related or opposites from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like um, honest news, or 2 words that don't go together, like same difference. It's the same difference. That's an oxymoron. When you say easy nap, it's an oxymoron because those 2 words do not go together. No matter what material it is, and if you're napping it, it's not easy. Napping is not easy. However, there are some materials that chip easy, which means if you drop it, it'll chip really easy too. So it should be called chip easy or break easy or super brittle, super sugar brittle. Yeah, super napper's brittle, like peanut brittle. It's a napper's brittle. But of course, they call it nap easy, so people will say, "Ooh, if it's easy to nap, I want some." Napping is never easy. All right, okay. Have you heard of the product? Yes. The southern exposure of hills are great for shade. Bucks like to bed there in the sunlight. I see. Let's see. Bucks like to bed down in the sunlight. Funny story, went out to 3 dormant volcano here in Arizona to gather obsidian. Oh, you went out to a dormant volcano in Arizona to gather obsidian. I saw a couple guys only looking where the trees uprooted. I asked them what they're doing. Pulling obsidian nodules. Yeah. Well, yeah, the roots will pull up nodules, so they're cheating. It's too easy that way. It's like going into the woods and looking for trees that beaver cut down for your bow staves. Too easy. Have I done that? I don't know. If we remember in the summer, okay, hold on. If we remember in the summer, if no one else gets you turtleneck skins for bowstrings, I can help. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let me write that. Snapping turtleneck bowstrings are supposedly good for bowstrings. Let me write that down. The reason why it takes me so long to write down something is because I need to read it or be able to read it when I come back to it. And I had to explain to myself what it is like a 5-year-old could understand. Because I'll go, wait, what is this? I just can't write a reminder, like a quick reminder. I have got to explain it like I'm 5 years old. Okay. They apparently saw Donnie Dust's video in the uprooted trees can dig up some buried pieces. And Patrick style humor told them the trees don't grow obsidian. The whole side of the mountain is covered. Yeah, that's what I would say. Don't steal them from the trees. They're free for everybody. You don't need to steal them from the trees. We got coyotes, turkey, and even turkey vultures, bobcats, and eagles have recently been spotted in Detroit. Golly, the only thing that I saw in Detroit was just a bunch of abandoned houses. I hope that's not stereotypical. I hope I'm not being stereotypical. Yo, Detroit, you got bears too? Maybe. I've been slacking on the. I can't get back to where I was. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to navigate this comment section. We have a mailman in the city limits of Pittsburgh who is afraid of the turkeys. He carries a beat up umbrella to ward them off. That reminds me, we used to have a crazy mail lady that would talk to herself the whole time when she was delivering mail. And I thought one time there were 2 people at my front door. But no, just her. She's no longer here. 2 words causing redundancy. That's an oxymoron? That could be, I suppose. But it's usually 2 words that are opposites together that mean something different than what any of those words mean. Mike Mason, no bears, thankfully. John Stone is not good to nap. Ed, you should know that, Ed. No offense, but the nap easy stuff is not John Stone. I will give them that. Yeah, it's better than that. If that's what you meant, okay, you got to explain it to me like I'm 5 if you make a little comment, because I'll misinterpret it. Killer Cork, sounds like you have a similar ecosystem to mine. My wife and I found an eagle nest that looked like a 3 foot by 6 foot in size. Huge. Yeah, I've never seen an eagle nest up close. Yes, Detroit, other than downtown, is pretty crappy. I'm not in Detroit, though, just close. Oh, I see. I see. No joke, I was moral mushroom hunting, and a turkey and I scared the crap out of each other. We each ran opposite directions. I don't know what turkey thought. I thought it was a giant raccoon. Ah, yeah. Yeah, turkeys are funny. I'm seeing mostly female turkeys. I don't know where the males hang out. I don't see the turkeys with the beards on them. Yeah, I'm just seeing a bunch of female turkeys. They run around together. I think maybe the males are solitary. I don't know. I got to look that up. Yeah. But it's so easy to have your own. You can have here where I live, we can have Narragansett turkeys that look just like wild turkeys in the backyard. And we just we can keep them here as egg layers if we want. I think up to 5 of them. Yeah. And you can eat them too, of course, just like chickens. Like I'm allowed chickens in the city limits here. I'm allowed turkeys and ducks and what else? Pigeons, probably. So it's much easier to raise Narragansett turkeys and just go up to them with a air gun, shoot them in the head. They separate this time of year. Oh, okay. The turkeys separate this time of year. Interesting. Yeah. We see lots of eagles around Port Sanilac Harbor, Michigan, in October when the coho salmon returned to spawn. You got salmon up there? I'd be more interested in the salmon. We have an eagle. Well, we used to have an eagle that flew around here because we're right next to the Connecticut River. I mean, we're right on the river. So that we could see the eagle sometimes fly down the river or fly through the neighborhoods. And it would always fly low. It would go right at the rooftop level, just under the wires. So, I mean, it would probably do this, but it looked like it was flying under the wire, under the telephone wires. So it would fly low. And it surprised me one time as I was walking a trail. But I had, just before I got out onto the trail, I left the car, I started walking, and the thing went, what is that? It's not a drone because drones are very noisy and they sound like a big wasp. So what the heck was that? So I watched, and sure enough, I could see the eagle on the branch. Didn't stick around though. So they kind of swoop land. I'm imagining. I think that's what they do. But anyway, it was cool to see it. The Toms and Jakes will be within a couple of miles of the hens. Oh, I see. About 5 years ago, morels popped up like crazy in my neighbors and my backyard. So many came back 2 years later. Haven't seen them since. Yeah, I heard that morel mushrooms or morels have a tendency to grow when there's a fire. Like either ashes fall on the ground in your area, or you had a fire in your yard, or you something. They like ground that has been exposed to fire. It might be the nitrogen, I don't know, or whatever. But yeah, they come up after forest fires like crazy. Yeah. I've never hunted for mushrooms, but I've had so many people tell me that I should go do it. Just do it. I said, I don't eat mushrooms anymore. I used to eat a lot of mushrooms, but not anymore. They've got too many carbohydrates. It's not that much, but they still got some. Yeah, it's hard to give up the carbohydrates because there's so many good things you can forage for. So many different plants and berries and stuff. I ate a lot of raspberries last year when I got here. That was a big mistake. I can put on 5 pounds by eating fruit in 2 weeks, just by eating only, a small serving of fruit with every meal, maybe like a half a cup. I could put on 5 pounds in 2 weeks with that little bit. And it's so difficult to remove those 5 pounds. You've got to really watch the diet and exercise a lot. At my age, you got to. I'm 62, so I've got to exercise quite a bit to have any dent on removing any fat. I don't like morels, but you can fetch a pretty penny. Yeah, I've heard people selling those and making a living selling wild foraged mushrooms. Actually making a living. $40,000 a year and up. 12 deer in my backyard right now, along with the skunk, possum, raccoons, and fox and coyotes at any given time. You got a herd of deer, AJ Williams? Well, dang it. Bear in the spring, they like my bees. Need a 270 cal with a silencer. Yeah, that's for sure. I thought I demonetized this video. I don't know. YouTube is playing a trick on me. Do you guys see the ads? Because I say I see a little notice come up and I skip the ad. I'm wondering if you guys are seeing the ads. I'm pretty sure I demonetized this video. Michigan has awesome salmon fishing for kings, cohos, Atlantics, and pinks, plus brown trout, steelheads, and lake trout. Awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I got an ad. Haven't, but I was also late. Ads. I see. Some of you probably won't see ads if you have YouTube Premium membership. I got the YouTube Premium. I pay every month, so I don't see ads. Yeah, but it gives me a notice right now. I had to skip twice. Skip the ads twice. YouTube is sneaky. For many years, I did not monetize any of my videos. And then one of my sons told me, Dad, there's an ad on your video. Did you monetize? That's cool. I said, no, I didn't monetize. And he goes, look, I'll watch. I'll type in one of your videos and it'll come up. And in the beginning, there's a skip ad coming up. You can skip it in, after 15 seconds or whatever. And I said, this is not good. YouTube's making money off of me. And I'm not even getting a cut. So I monetized all my videos, or almost all of them. Yeah, it's not fair. They were putting ads on my non-monetized videos. Just killed an arrowhead going too deep in the barbs. Just killed an arrowhead going too deep. Yeah. Just make a non-barbed arrowhead. Morals here in Pennsylvania around in May. We pick our type in the fall. Very weather persnickety. All depends on the weather. I see. So AJ, you are a mushroom hunter, I imagine, I suppose. Where are the trolls? I haven't seen any ads yet. Usually when you indicate that the trolls are helping you, they go away. And in this case, the trolls were helping me because it must have been one or two guys only, but they were posting with many different handles. They don't realize that they're helping me when they create a lot of different profiles and they post with different profiles. It actually adds a lot to the comment section as far as interaction. He thought he was being clever by using many different handles. And if I delete one, he still has the others to use. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't delete any of them. And they're going, I'm actually helping. They're out of there. As soon as a troll understands that they're helping you, they're out of there. You don't even have to argue with them. Just, you're helping me. This is good. We know what not to be like. And then they'll disappear. So that's my theory anyway. You got to be here on Fridays. Well, that's true, Mike. Wait till Friday. This is Monday. Yeah. Oh, and that reminds me, this Wednesday for the channel news live stream, I am going to do napping. I'm going to nap in my kitchen. Yeah. It's not a good idea, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to set up a large drop cloth and nap in my kitchen here because this is where the router is. And if I see, I'm only about 12 feet from the router here in the dining room. I can set up near the front door where my kitchen is and be close to the router and have good reception. If I go out to the shop, my reception is spotty and it's only like 50 feet or less. Maybe 50 feet. I can't live stream from my shop. I've got to be here in the house. Anyway, that's what I'll do Wednesday. I will be live streaming and napping. You won't see me face to face because I'll be the same format as my videos with the camera in front of my face. That way I can look at the chat. It'll be in front of my face. If you change the channel, then come to you. I see an advert. I don't know what that means. My cousin hunts morel mushrooms to sell at fancy restaurant. He gets $20 a pound. Golly, that's the way to do it. $20 a pound is the way to do it. That's even more expensive than fancy stones and rocks and stuff. Yeah. And much lighter to carry out. You can carry a lot of morels for 20 pounds worth of morels. Is that how you pronounce them? Or is it morels? 20 pounds of morels is a lot of mushrooms. But you can carry maybe it isn't easier to carry. I'm thinking about it now. Wait a second. That's a lot of space. I don't know. Would I want to carry a big old basket that's 100 pounds or a little backpack that's 100 pounds? I don't know. If you change the channel, then come to use. I see an advert. Okay, I don't know. AJ Williams, what kind are you picking in the fall? I love fall mushrooms. Question. It seems like you have more success with the flattened notcher for narrow entry. That works better with the flat side scraping or braiding, correct? Versus a super sharp horseshoe nail. Yeah. See, horseshoe nail is more for vertical punch. I like the horizontal napping into the notch, but I'm going to have to get into the vertical pressure work because it allows you to make much better expanding notches. Yeah, and sometimes it helps to make the notches deeper as well. If you have a vertical pressure technique. For me, whenever I do vertical pressure, I either punch through too hard and my flaker sticks in my pad or into my hand, or um, I bend the tip of the flaker. It bends right over. I can't keep it from bending. I don't know how Mike Cook does his. If I try his technique, I bend the flaker. I can't do it that way. And if it doesn't bend the flaker, I don't get a flake. Yeah. There's got to be a technique to it. So I prefer to use the horizontal, just crunch the notch in. There's no mystery. I suddenly realized trolls have real jobs. Yeah. There goes the kitchen. Yeah, there goes the kitchen if I nap in here. Killer Cork, you're a Michigander. How's the bidding going? It's going very well, actually. I'm surprised. These little boxes of flakes are much in demand. Of course, it's hard to get high grade stone. So I try to offer high grade stone in the little boxes. You know, flat, high grade stone. Usually you get curved low grade stone in a box of flakes. So I try to do the opposite. Flat, high grade stuff. Yeah. And the napped points that I do on video, if they are made of really nice material, they are much in demand. Yes, they are. One bid since the last time. One more bid on something since the last time I checked. Let's see. Yeah, it's going pretty good. The refined obsidian bifaces, I have a feeling that, the last item on the list in the auction, the last item, I have a feeling that's going to go for pretty good money. It's got 8 little bifaces in it. People usually buy those. People usually want those so they can make a bunch of different types of points, I suppose. Stay tuned for Wednesday live stream, tacos and Clovis. Got to step away for a while. See you later, Ed. I tried to bid R. Snyder. You did. I see one of your bids on that 7. It's $25. The one I just talked about, the box of refined bifaces. I see your bid on that one. You got outbid though. Do you see the other bids? Oh, I gotta. Let me see. Let me go down the list here. R. Snyder bid on a bunch of stuff. Ralph, you bid on a bunch of stuff. Yeah. But there's a bunch more bids for everything, so I think you've been outbid. Yep. Excuse me while I look. Yeah. The bids are coming in pretty steady. They're good. Let's see. Chantel mushrooms are out in the fall. Okay. Amarilla is the scientific name, golden color. Learned from my grandmother and mom. Every fall, many days picking up mushrooms and occasionally a snake or two. Awesome. I live in Romeo, Michigan. Fall mushrooms top 3 for me are chanterelles, wood blewits, and the hen of the woods. Not to be confused with chicken of the woods, which is good too, but gives me gas. We have chicken of the woods here. I've seen it. What's your best auction week money-wise? I don't remember. When I first posted auctions, the very first time I've ever posted an auction for flint knapped items, I did eBay auctions and I put up a bunch of points because I had a bunch stashed in my collection. I used to keep them in a box, stuff that I did not give away and stuff that I could refer to or rework later. I had a bunch of those. I sold them all in 1 week and made over 2,000. I'm pretty sure, but that was on eBay, and it was a lot of points. It was over 60 different points or something like that. But then, unfortunately, somebody claimed that I didn't ship items to him, so I had to give him a refund. And then it turns out that the items did reach him. Yeah. So I said, well, it's too easy for people to get free items. So I stopped doing that. But here on YouTube per week, the highest I've ever gotten in a week was 800 and something, I think, or 700 and something. That's the highest. But I've gotten as low as $125 or $165, just to give you a range. Because in some weeks I can't produce anything. I don't have time. And this was a while ago. I think the least I got was 175. It's still okay for part-time stuff. Is the shipping too expensive to be able to sell Danish flint to the US? Yeah, it is very expensive. So what you would do, it's best to sell bifaces. If you can make the bifaces, they sell for good money, and then it's not that much to ship. As far as weight of the items and their usefulness, they're almost finished. If you do bifaces that are almost finished, then the receiver doesn't need to do much to them, and there's hardly any waste. So they feel that they're getting their money's worth. I would sell refined bifaces of Danish flint or perfect flakes, the flat ones that are high grade. And you can send 3 pounds. That's not too expensive, equivalent to a small priority flat rate box. That's about 3 pounds. I don't think it's too expensive. Anything over a pound, though, it starts to get expensive. Yeah. So it's a difficult question to answer, but it is expensive to ship overseas. You should have plenty of customers in Europe that are dying for material. Every time I meet someone from Europe, they go, "Do you know where to get some? Where do I get it? Where do I get some?" Hello, my name is Gloria. I am obese. What? People don't talk like this. It's a troll. The wife is giving me a limit on bidding. Ah, I see. Oh, well, that's the way it goes. Let's see. AJ Williams, honey mushrooms in common. They're good. They kill trees, though. Nature gonna nature, though. Amarillo is the largest known organism on the planet. Please pray for my uterus. I don't want to die. Behold, we have a little baby troll. Gloria needs to see a doctor. But that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah. I can't afford medical. Let's see. I don't eat the trees, just the mushrooms. Ah, I see. Mushroom hunter here. Justin, awesome. Several mushroom hunters in the comments seeking. Oh, God. Yo, Justin. Howdy, neighbor. Brandon, Thanks for doing these live chats. Really nice to add something like this to my weekly schedules. Awesome. You're welcome. Just thinking about it having legit tons of flint at hand. Yeah. Hello, Mike. Hey. Say hello, Mike. Any sang hunters? What's a sang hunter? What about the magic mushrooms? No one talks about the magic mushrooms. Not supposed to, anyway. Yeah. And the mushrooms aren't, a lot of times they're not that magic. I've never tried it and I never will. Nope. Oh, I've known people that do it and they tell me various things. It's like flint napping. You never know exactly what's going to happen. Someone bit on the sinew string. Yes, yes. Yep, it's going good. I'm getting several replies and several comments and several bids. Very good. I see you guys. I hit the like button if I see your comment. So now you know when I'm checking. And if I don't have a like on your comment, that means I can't see it. Let's see. Ginseng. That's a mushroom, right? Yeah, ginseng, I guess. Ginseng. Most potent ones known grow in Long Beach. Okay, so it says Long Beach, like the beechwood tree. I know it's probably not the beechwood tree. And Long Beach, I guess, is California. Or is there another Long Beach somewhere? Good shamanistic experience or shamanic experience. How do you know what a shamanic experience is other than, a really trippy trip? Lots of ginseng hunters here in West Virginia. I went, but I'm not the best. I'm losing the string. Mike Mason losing the string. Is that something that has a hidden meaning? What does that mean? Central Illinois here, and I've hunted all through the years, but steer clear of drugs. Yeah, very good idea. Yeah, I had a girlfriend that got me or convinced me to take a couple of drugs in high school and made me stupid for days. I guess I don't process that stuff out of my system very fast. I'll bet we can't see them all, the bids. Yeah, the bids section the comment sections in YouTube are funny. And it might just be my luck, but a lot of times people can't see other people's bids. But I can tell when they can't if the bids don't go upward. Like if they start going back downward, that means they're not seeing the high bids. I bet we can't see all the bids. Yeah. I tried the Santa Claus mushroom. Never heard that one. Ginseng is a threatened species in Michigan. You got the right King Beach, Pat. Okay. I wish, but no collecting of ginseng on public lands in Michigan, just private land. Okay. Hey, Illinois people, it means it means someone bud on the bowstring. I bud 10. What did they bid? Oh, it means someone bid on the bowstring. Yeah. $15 on the bowstring. $15 on the bowstring as far as I remember. Yeah. Trapper Kern. Hello from Montana. Hey, hello, Illinois. Hey, Justin. Where's Mike T? Mike T is not in the house. Yeah, it's true. He might show up in the last 15 minutes, and he sometimes bids in the auction. Yeah. So if he gets on the internet, he's going to go, wait a second, there's a live stream going on? He might join us. If you want tools, Mike Tufts is the guy. in the live stream. And sometimes Danny Collins joins us too. He has an awesome website full of stuff, rocks, tools, and everything. You ever make arrows with persimmon wood or bows? I've tried a bow with persimmon wood. It was it was it was very how do I say? It's very it vibrated. Is there a word for a wood that vibrates a lot? It was very bouncy. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I think it makes a good bow. I just didn't have all that much time to research it. But I did make one persimmon bow, and it was very vibratory. I don't know, which means I didn't like it all that much. I like it to be quick and snappy. I don't like it to go. You know, I don't like the string to vibrate after I shoot it. I don't like the limbs to feel like they vibrate. I mean, it might have been just heavy tips on it or something, but I didn't think it was ideal. Hello from Montana. Okay. Hello from Montana. Hello from South Central here. Hey, Justin, where's Mike T? Yeah, I read those already. Okay. Well, it deserves 20 on the bowstring. Oh, I see. Yeah, of course. You ever make arrows with persimmon? No, but bows, I just said, yeah. One bow. That was it. But I can't judge it with just one bow because you never know. It could have just been that piece of wood. You got to make at least 10 bows out of a certain type of wood to be knowledgeable in that type of wood. At least 10 bows. Just bid on 30 on the bowstring just to be safe. Wow. Okay. Let me see. I don't see Dawn's bid. Let me refresh, or let me get out of YouTube and go back into YouTube and see if I can see your bid. Because if you bid that much and I don't see it, that's not good. Most everyone is a good sport about not when their bids are not seen. They're a good sport about it. They don't say anything, but some guys will say, "What happened? What the heck?" I see Trapper Kern and Keith Ricketts on the bowstring. Oh, okay. The highest bid on the bowstring right now is $18 that I can see. Let's see. Oh, I see what you said, Dawn. I misinterpreted what you said, Dawn. Yeah. Snipers. Yeah, people tend to bid at the last minute. Try to avoid sniping, you just put in more than one bid at the last minute, and hopefully you'll catch it. Catch the high bid. It's a bummer to lose a bid by $1 or $2 or lose an item because someone bid $1 or $2 higher than you at the very last minute. So you could just add more bids, and I'm only going to take the one that beats the other guy. If you bid a lot, I'm not going to take your last bid as what you have to pay. I'm only going to charge you what beats the other guy. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain, but I think you know what. I think everyone knows what I mean. All right. Do you have any opinions on using multifloral rose stems for arrows? It depends. Yeah, I do have some opinion on it. Every time I use multifloral rose, it's always too weak. But someone sent me some multifloral rose one time, and it was strong. So it must depend on where it's growing. Here in Vermont, at least where we are, I got tons of it. And I know where I can get tons of it. And they're all straight. They're weak. It's got so much pith that I can just almost break it with one hand. Now, there may be different species of multifloral rose, but the ones we have here are like weeds. You can just snap it so easily. I can't make arrows out of it. I mean, I can, but it requires like a 15-pound draw at the most. So it's frustrating. People tell me, yeah, you can use multi-floor rolls. It's nice and straight. It's almost parallel. It's with good arrows. I can't use it around here. Wait, I'll send you some. No, it's okay. They believe me. We're gonna pick wild watercress soon by the garbage bags full of March. Then we hunt for ramps in late April, early May. Just can't pass up all the free stuff. Gotta wear camouflage. I love that tri-flow point. Nice work. Thanks, Killer Cork. Thank you very much. I like the 2. I didn't want to sell it. Elm is good for bows. Yes, that is very true. That's one of my favorites. It's in my top 3. Elm is in the top 3 of bow woods for me. No, I didn't bid. I meant the yeah. Hi from Cheyenne, Wyoming. All righty. To be honest, I pay $40 for synthetic bowstrings locally. I think natural would be worth more. Yeah, as long as it fits your bow and you can maintain the string. Sometimes it can be considered a high maintenance item. It depends on your climate. It's sinew strings are not easy to take care of. Yeah. Just to let you know. And let me know if you have any trouble with the sinew strings, like if it breaks easy or if it's something weird about it. See what I can do to replace it. Hello, Montana. Last best place. Been out there many times fishing. Our most famous destination was Lincoln, home of the Unabomber. Same year they found him. Wow. Do you still have Kevin? Yeah, but he's in Texas. I'm in Vermont now. I can't bring him up here because 2 reasons. One, I'm allergic to dogs, believe it or not. And there's no fence here for him to roam outside. Since he was born, he's been an outdoor dog. When he's inside, he's a spaz. And he wants to go back out. And I don't have the heart to bring him in. But I can't have him in the house either because I'm allergic to him. I miss Kevin quite a bit, but I miss the other dogs too. We have 7 dogs back in my house in Texas. He's just one of them. But he's the one that likes to hang around with me when I'm napping. They used to make golf clubs out of persimmon. Might be why the bows were bouncy. Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. No late bids either. 9 p.m. sharp. Yes. Yeah. I close the auction at 9 p.m. sharp Eastern time. If you bid after that, I'm not going to count your bid, right? So I look to see, but I use YouTube's time. Sometimes YouTube's time is screwy, just like the comment section, and it might be up to 2 minutes off. So just be aware that you and I both know you're on time, but YouTube may put your time as 2 minutes off, and you'll be too late. So that's another reason not to bid at the last minute. I think I see a troll looking in your window behind you. I think you might be the troll. Tell the troll in the window to talk to the ghost, because the ghost likes to charge a toll for each troll. Okay, thanks. What does that mean? Skip that ad. I see another ad. What's the other 2 in your top 3? Osage and juniper. Juniper's number 1, Osage orange number 2, elm number 3. It depends on the elm though too. It depends on how fast the elm has grown. With juniper and Osage, they both grow slow, so your bow's going to be good. But sometimes elm grows really, really fast in certain environments, and that is pretty weak wood. A slow grow elm is the best. But yeah, that's why it's number 3 also. It's unpredictable. Yeah, you have been avoided the land bridges lately. You have been making some killer. Thanks. Yeah, on new material or material I'm not used to, or if I'm not in the right frame of mind, I'll get the what they call buffalo jumps and land bridges. The buffalo jumps are step fractures, really bad ones, and then land bridges is when I try to remove that step fracture from behind, and it doesn't reach. So now there's a bridge. I call that a land bridge. Yeah, but they're not funny. I hate that. Choke cherry in my yard till wife cuts it down. Okay, choke cherry. I think you were saying you have some shoots, right, Ed? Or you're uh, planning on having some? Hey, Patrick, hi, Patrick. Dr. Tom here. Okay, hi, Dr. Tom. I love the chat, buddy, and enjoying the comments. Okay, good. My eyes are starting to get tired, I suppose. No, this is not going to help. Well, if the convo is going to Boyer, I am curious if the red cedar juniper is springing faster than persimmon now. I think I know what you're asking, and I think juniper is springier and snappier than persimmon. I tried to get you to turn and look. You forget that I can look at myself in the viewfinder, and I can see the window. Trolls go back under your bridges. Yeah. If I'll send you some flint, how will we do it? Just send me an email to jackcrafty2@gmail.com. Jackcrafty, one word, the number 2 at gmail.com, and we can arrange for you to send me something. In other words, I'll just give you my address. I tried to get you to turn around. Yeah. You can kind of tell if you see someone on a live stream, you can kind of tell their intellect level if you say there's something behind them and they look, because they can see behind them when they're looking at themselves in the viewfinder. Now, if they don't have a viewfinder, okay, but that's how you know they don't have a viewfinder, or that's how you know they're not too bright. I'll send you some flint. Ramps are like a wild onion or garlic. Indians grew them for food. Ramps? Tight woven grain is key. Yeah, a slow growth on any kind of wood is actually increases its quality. Just FYI, your obsidian as of late is awesome. Thank you, thank you. It has to do a lot with me sticking to obsidian for several weeks now, so I can get used to it. Blades and points. Hey, Sal's in the house. Good evening. Hello, everybody. Ross Wellman. Kevin, that dang dog woke me up when I was watching your no talk video, and you laughed and said, "Did that wake you up?" Yeah, I've had people tell me that. I've had people tell me all kinds of things about the dogs in the background, like, "Oh, my dogs understand the way your dogs are barking, so the ears go up." The warning barks. Yeah, my dogs would bark at anything that would react, and anything that was out of the ordinary, of course. But if it reacted, that was when they really liked it. Yeah. We used to have, I've told a story about the chicken who hops the fence. We used to have a chicken that hopped the fence from the neighbors in the mine, but that chicken's long gone. It had died a long time ago. But it used to jump the fence and drive the dogs nuts. I agree, Tom. It's a nice batch of obsidian. Hey, Sal. How is aim for bows given the fact that, how is elm for bows given that it's cross grain? It's fine. Yeah. Now, working the wood is difficult. Splitting the wood is almost impossible to do it well. So I just have to look at how straight the log is, because I cut the logs 4 inches diameter or larger. I have to look to see the grain, and you can tell by the branches if the grain is twisted or straight. So if it's a straight section, I can cut it with a saw along the grain to split it in half instead of taking wedges and splitting it. Splitting with wedges is excellent for juniper or osage, but elm doesn't split easily that way. So I use a saw to cut it, a circular saw most of the time. Nap one piece of raw root beer and your obsidian will go to crap. Yes, that is true. Yeah, changing from one material to the next is very difficult. And for years, people wanted me to do exactly that. Can you compare this to that material? Like, what does the mahogany obsidian nap like compared to right next to it, rainy buttes? All right. They would like me to nap those two together to compare. Well, when you're napping two different materials, neither one is going to nap like it would normally nap because you're trying to readjust to each one. So it's not a good comparison. It's very difficult to compare two materials when when you're napping it back and forth. You have to depend on your memory and think, all right, how is this compared to my current material that I'm using? Or if you're not using the current material, like someone might ask me, what's the difference between hornstone and Hopkinsville, or hornstone and agate from Arizona, heat treated agate from Arizona? I got to try to remember. And a lot of times it's not possible to give you a comparison. It's too difficult. Just so you know, I had a face off with an aggressive dog at work recently. I won. Awesome. Now, that could mean many things. Did you guys have a biting contest where you bit the dog? Or you just kind of stared at each other? Or did you make noise? Or did you use lethal means? It could mean anything. You gotta be more specific. Ramps grow in the floodplains of rivers. Good sign if a farm field is nearby for surface hunting arrowheads. Indians planted ramp near their villages. You can plant that stuff. Ramps are wild leeks and dang tasty. Oh, okay. Interesting. Mahogany obsidian is beautiful to look at. Oh, yes, it is. Someone's saying hello, Sal. Snyder, Ralph Snyder. I haven't found ramps, but I've looked. R. Snyder may have given me a clue. I haven't looked at river bottoms. I've got a ton of Osage orange in Waynesville Wellness, but I was wondering about elm due to the fact that it is impossible to split. I was just curious. Yeah, it's a good question. But yeah, one of the good things about elm is that it is impossible to split. It makes a very durable bow, I think. Some people disagree with me and say, nah, elm's kind of trashy. It's never straight. Exactly. It never, if you bend it to shape and never retains its shape, you can't keep it to the right shape. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I'll use a wonky bow as long as it shoots snappy. Mm-hmm. Ramp dinners in West Virginia. Yeah. He fought the dog and dog won. I don't think that's what he said, but it'd be interesting. We find the ramps along the Delaware River. Poconos to the south, Catskills in the woods, under the shade, no fam fields for point hunting, though. I had a stick and a carrot. I gave him a carrot. Oh, you had a stick and a carrot. You gave him a carrot, and he wanted the stick. Poor guy knows his nose is sensitive now. Dog face off. Previous German Shepherd. I try not to mess with German Shepherds. Not even for a second. I used to install cable. I used to be a cable guy, literally install cable TV, and I got exposed to all kinds of dogs. The funniest ones are the little ones, for sure. But there was some big ones that were really scary. The scariest one was I went to a house and it was a big, it looked like a pit bull mix, like a, uh, it was tall, like a Rottweiler, but a tall Rottweiler with a little bit of pit bull because of the ears or something. Anyway, uh, I got in there and the dog just kind of stared at me and came up to me and just kind of bumped me on the leg with his nose. I guess he wanted some attention. I didn't give him any attention. And I kept walking around the house looking for the cable connections. And the dog was after me, like, just getting ready. And the lady of the house says, I think maybe I'll put the dog away, but just kind of walk slowly out the front door because he's never acted this way. And he looks like he's about to do something. So, yeah, I went, oh, okay. It was a big dog. So I was not going to mess with that one. That was the scariest one. Otherwise, the dogs kind of give you they give you a hint of what they're going to do, or they're just barking like crazy right off the bat. The ones that are barking like crazy right off the bat usually are scared of you. So if you just don't act scared, they won't approach. Anyway, let's see. Styly Designs. What month do you harvest in West Virginia? How long have you been practicing archery? Me, seriously, practicing archery since like 97, 98, 99, just before the year 2000. I had shot bows and stuff and made bows and arrows since I was 8 years old, but didn't get into it seriously until I started getting on the internet and into forums about archery. And tillering was always my hardest thing because I didn't have anyone to teach me how to tiller a bow. Getting on forums and learning how to tiller a bow properly was the biggest eye opener of all. And I think it was, I think 97 or 98. After that, I started making lots of bows myself that I could control the poundage. Before, as a kid, when I was making bows, I wouldn't control the poundage. I would just make a bunch of them, and then whichever one was my favorite is the one I would shoot. I had no idea of how to tiller them properly. I would shave the wood off the belly, yeah, but just enough to get the string to work. I had no idea how to tiller, and I would break a lot of them right in half. So what is that? 97, almost 30 years? No, couldn't be. Maybe. But I'm way out of practice. I need to shoot this summer. I haven't shot a bow. Well, I shot a bow last year. Was it last year? Yeah. Spring of last year, almost a year ago. No, more than I can't think, but it was about a year ago the last time I shot a bow and arrow. And I could tell I'm way off. I need to zoom in my instinct. I shoot instinctively, so I need to zoom that. I need to zero that in. It takes about 3 or 4 months for me to zero in well enough to just pick up the bow, string it, and shoot, and get into the correct area, within a 4-inch circle, I suppose, at I don't know, 20 yards. I don't want to shoot further than 20 yards. Usually, I collect arrowheads in fields next to streams, lakes, and springs. Yep. The little ones are always the most in charge. Talking about dogs, right? The sheep dogs are usually so friendly, yet they know they are powerful. Yeah. Nice point. I commented on Sal. Dogs face biting. Cool archery. Cool archery is wonderful. I love it. Oh yes. Harvest them around March to May. Dogs face napping. We're starting this little thing. It's an inside joke here where face napping is the same as eating. Yeah, that's what it means. Face napping means you're eating something. At least that's the way I think it's being used. But that's the way I'm using it. Yeah. I got some stew meat on the stove. I'm going to be face napping some stew meat after the live stream. I've got 15 minutes and I'm eyeing that stew meat. I'll be face napping that in 15 minutes. Yep. So if you have questions about bows and stuff, I have made several bows. I have made a bow or two with only stone tools just so I can say I did it. It was not fun, but if you know me, I hate the journey. I like the result. The result was good. It's barely, you can't tell the difference between a bow made with stone tools and a knife, let's say. Especially if you sand all the marks off or all the spots where you messed up. And you can sand down a bow with natural tools and you can scrape fairly well with stone. There's no herbs in the stew. It's just I put butter in it, salt, because I always buy unsalted butter, and just water. Water, salt, butter, and pepper. I put pepper in there. That's it. That's my stew. No vegetables. If I put vegetables in a stew, it's going to be onions, a little bit. Garlic makes me feel funny. What else did I put in a stew? It's been such a long time. Bouillon. I just put beef bouillon in there. That's it. Maybe some onions. That's about it. Cabbage. Sometimes I'll put cabbage in the stew. Yeah, but I gain weight on cabbage, so just very little chunks. I've had a beagle show up while hunting. Gave him half a sandwich, and he helped me get 3 rabbits that day. Oh, dang! Wow, a stray dog that actually knows how to do work. Venison stew? No, it's grass-fed beef. Yeah. They call it ranch steak, but I tried to cook it like a steak and it's really, really chewy. So I had to put it in. I'm going to make a stew. Are you going to have more live chats? Yeah, I have 3 live chats a week. Good thing you asked me before the live chat was over. Monday, like right now, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern. It's all Eastern time. And Fridays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. So three nights a week. Why 3 nights a week? Because I don't want it to be 4 nights a week. Yeah. I like venison stew, in case you're asking. How do I make my venison stew? I put in the bones and the cartilage and the tendons and all that. And then I separate them out later. I like to just boil, like if I take a deer home from a friend of mine that just gives me, usually a friend of mine will just give me parts of the deer that they don't eat. Ribs, legs, the neck. It all goes in the stew pot. I just make sure I wash it right and then stick it on the stew pot and maybe I'll take a gland out. I'm not that good at searching for the glands. And then just cook it all together. And then I'll take out the bones later and stuff. But I just throw it all together. I'm lazy with some salt and some pepper and I don't know. What did I do last time? I don't think I added bouillon to it. It was good just like that. Someone told me once that deer is good with some spice that I recommended. What was it? I don't know. I might add some balsamic vinegar. I'll put this a little bit of stew in here in my cup. Right now, I've just got water so that I don't cough like crazy on the live stream. But sometimes I'll put balsamic vinegar into my soups, and I might try it with this stew. But that's it. I think I don't think I put vinegar in with the deer stew. Ed Gould again. What does that mean? Face snapped a chunk of tooth with the schnapps bottle. Oh, you're not supposed to face snap the schnapps bottle. Oh wow. Let's see. Have you ever napped the circle or disc blade? Yes. I want to make one and experience cutting with it. Odd shape for a blade. I have an authentic Neolithic one. You do? I have. Just type in Jack Crafty discoidal disc, right? Discoidal, Discoidal. I think that's what they're called. I have a video on it. It's a pain in the butt to nap a circle. Onion and carrot and celery are a must for me. Yeah. That's a good combination. Oh, I know. Last time I made a soup, I know what I did last time, but it was here. It wasn't with deer meat. I cheated and just grabbed some salsa at the store, the mild salsa that has tomatoes, onions, and whatever, and peppers, and added some of that to my soup. Yeah, that was the last thing I used that wasn't part of my diet. Once in a while, I'll want to have some salsa because I miss it. But I added it to my soup. I'll add all kinds of weird stuff just to try it out. It wasn't weird. It was good. Um, Glands are located in fat pockets. Okay. hmm There's one that's located in the hindquarters, but I watched some YouTube videos on it, and I tried to see if I could actually figure out where it was. I couldn't figure out if I actually removed it or not. It looked like I had removed it because there was some tendon there and some fat. Yeah, we'll see. I'll try to get better at describing that kind of stuff. I'm not that good at butchering deer. I'll just throw everything in together. The ribs and the neck are my favorite of all the meat. Besides the backstrap, the backstrap's okay too, of course. But you can't cook it all the way through because it's too chewy, or it just ruins it. You have to cook the backstrap like a steak. It's great, but other than that, the cuts of deer that I like the best are the neck and the ribs because you can put it in a stew, just boil it, and it'll be great. You boil the other cuts of the deer, and it's not so great as the ribs or the neck. Right? What else is good? I'll eat the deer heart and I chickened out. I didn't eat the deer kidneys last time I got some, but I did eat the heart, which is good. I did eat some of the liver, which is okay. Liver is never really good tasting for me, but I know it's good for me, so I've been trying to eat more of it. What else did I try? Deer lung. The deer lung is good. I was surprised. I should have taken that beagle home. He liked chasing rabbits. Yeah, you should have taken the beagle home if it's a work dog and someone lost him. That's their loss, right? Maybe you should have. Yeah. Live chat was a surprise for me tonight. Thanks for doing it. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Justin. Remember, I got 3 of them per week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I have a video. If you look at update video, one of my latest update videos, you can see me holding up a little marker board, a whiteboard or whatever, and it has the times on it. Yeah. Do you ever make tools like scrapers or drills? I know people think they are boring, but I am fascinated Violet. Yes, Kane Brown. I am currently working on a obsidian drill in my latest series of videos called Nodule Productivity or something like that. I'm working on a drill made of obsidian right now. But yeah, I have napped drills. Just type in as a YouTube search Jack Crafty drill and Jack Crafty scraper. I think I might have a scraper. I've also done adze blades, knives, knife blades, stuff like that. Yeah, see, Brendan knows. He says I just made a drill a few days ago. Yeah, see, people are brand new. These are brand new people. They don't know us too well, though. They don't know what we do. They don't know what we chat about. A can of French onion soup is great in stew or roast. Oh, I believe it. That sounds awesome. I tried to upload a knife video, but my phone being stupid. Yeah, phones are stupid. Tarsal glands are on the back legs, and you don't want that in your stew. Just saying. Yeah, I know. It ended up in one of my soups, in one of my stews for sure. Yeah, it's a difference. And people in the house go, "Wait, what are you cooking? What is that?" It's not your usual legs and not your usual neck and ribs. No, it's true. I put everything in there. I tried to get the gland out, but it didn't work. The Bearded Butcher YouTube channel is great. Yes, I have watched them. They have great tutorials on butchering. Yes, I have watched them. You are right. I've been throughing a pound of pepper jack in stews lately. Patrick, have you soaked the liver in milk? Yes, I've marinated not only liver in milk, but deer meat in milk. What else did I do it with? I put rabbit. I think I've marinated rabbit in the milk too. It doesn't need it. The rabbit doesn't need it, but I've done that. Do I notice a difference? I noticed the difference with the deer meat. Yeah, I did. I meant bearded butcher, not bearded bitch. Did I say bearded bitch? Pardon my French. Those guys got my respect. Just saying. Yeah. They're on the inside lower leg. Cut them off when I get the deer. Yeah. See, you're better at locating these things than I am. I couldn't remember. I probably have to have the video on right when I'm butchering the deer, so I know exactly what I'm doing. Inside lower leg. I cut them. Yeah, but they're in between two large muscles, right? You just can't get to them quickly. I don't know. Okay, I'll look for your scraper and other videos. I've seen lots of your videos, but clearly not all. How many years have you been doing YouTube? Since 2011. So that's almost 14 years. Or it is 14 years. Yeah, that's too long. But yeah, I've been doing it for 14 years. But you look at my old videos and they're different than my new videos. Okay. I goof around a lot more these days. And I've changed some of my analyses. And I don't watch the same videos or the same YouTubers now that I used to watch. I'm more selective now of who I watch. I'll subscribe to everybody, but I'm very selective as to who I watch. Before I watched everybody, but now I'm very selective. Not everyone has a firm grip on reality. Just I'll put it that way. I used butcher deer for cash, beer, or a share of the deer. That's a good way to do it. All right, I'm going to end a live stream here in a couple of minutes. Right? It's almost time. I eat the deer liver and heart. Haven't tried deer haggis. Yeah, I haven't either. The deer heart is pretty good, actually. How do you prepare ling? How do you prepare ling or lung? Oh, I just what did I do? I cut it into strips like I do with liver and fried it. All right, I fried the lung. I use butter or lard because I don't use seed oils in my diet. I'm strictly a carnivore diet, or I try to be. So I only use lard and butter, maybe olive oil, but that also makes me feel funny. So I only use natural fats, not seed oils that are processed. And I fry the liver and I fried the lung. It only takes less than a minute on each side. Shh, that's it. Don't don't overcook it. I just cooked it the same way as I did the liver. It's been a while since I fried because I don't fry here in this house. It's too small. It gets too smoky. Anyway, all right. Dang, I've got to start power watching your channel. Oh, yes. I've got over 2,000 videos. Pulled venison neck with barbecue sauce and slow cooker. Oh, that sounds awesome. All right, I'm going to end the live stream here in a minute. I've watched a lot, but I still haven't seen it all. Nope. I bet you haven't because I've got, like I said, way too many videos. I feel the same way about seed oil. Yeah. Or oils. Yep. Cool. Yeah, I've changed my diet a while back and I've never regretted it. And I'm still trying to be very strict with it, even though I end up eating when I'm not supposed to, especially on holidays. And if I go over a friend's house and we have some beers or whatever, it's like, oh, here we go. Another great one. Thank you. Thank you. Don't forget, you can become a member. All right. Thanks, Jesse, for letting everybody know. Everybody go bid on the auction. Yes. I'll be watching it closely this last hour. Very nice stuff in the auction this week. Need the Clovis still about the only thing I haven't gotten from the auction yet. Yes. I will make more Clovis points. Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that stew, but it's on slow. It's on low heat, so. All right. My uncle used to go through the gut piles on opening day for deer livers. Yeah. Smart guy. 38 people in. Let's all give a like. Yes. Later, guys. All right. See you later, everybody. Good night. We'll see you Wednesday if you are available. Next live stream is Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And it will be napping. I will be napping during the next live stream, 2 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. All right. See you guys later.